The college football experience, Washington Huskies 2022 season previews, brought to you by WinBet. Bet $100 at WinBet and get $100 free bet. Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WinBet. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WINNBET to claim your free bet today. Rasa brought to you by us. Yes, the college football experience. Get ready for college football season by checking out all 131 team previews. Yes, every single team in the FBS. Just go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/CFB. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/CFB.
This is Randy Cross. You're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Yes, yes, yes. Woo! Welcome to the college football experience. Washington Huskies 2022 season preview episode. My name is Kobe Swinging Database Dad, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I smoke and I drink and I don't have stress and I'm healthy.
Shout out to Husky Nation, my dog. Shout out to Muddy Waters, part Husky.
Oh yeah, great man.
Great guy,
man, great dog.
guy.
Yeah.
And look, Muddy Waters might have done more running than this offense did a season ago. I am joined by my co-host. Give it up for former JMU Duke defensive back, the burrito eating, sideline kiss stealing, oiling and dealing, Patty C in the place to be.
Hi. Well.
Yes. Husky football, yes, Husky football. It is fantastic, yeah. From Todd James to Chris Peterson, yeah. Washington has national championships. They have multiple national championships in my book, buddy. You go back to that. That's what I mean. Even back in the day, college football is a bunch of nonsense. Back in 91 was it? 91.
Oh, yeah. 91.
How about 2001? Right.
2000 was 11-1.
2000. Yeah. No, that same team that had the same record in the net. Come on. No, 91. They're 12-0. 12-0. One at Miami. Mark Bruner.
Boom.
Killing it. Mark Brunell killing it.
Didn't they get Miami a couple times in the early 90s?
I think so. I think so. And look, this is a rich program. This is the Washington Huskies. Is this quarterback you, Petty C?
Rattle off some of those.
Warren Moon.
That's a good start.
Chris Chandler.
Solid.
Super Bowl quarterback.
Yeah.
Started in the Super Bowl. The Hewars.
Yeah.
You can go on and on and on about how many. I'm telling you, Mark Brunell. That's what I'm saying.
He was ripping.
No, he was Washington State.
Oopsie.
But I mean, they've had a lot. Tuiasa Sopo.
Oh yeah.
The first round pick for the Titans. I'm drawing a blank on his name. He was an athlete.
Oh yeah, Jake Long? No,
I'm drawing a Locker.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They just have a long history of great quarterback play. Jacob Eason. I mean, you go on and on. Cody Pickett. Kerry Conklin played for the Washington Redskins, won a Super Bowl there. Hugh Millen for the New England Patriots. Steve Pallur for the Dallas Cowboys. You go on and on and on. This is, I think you can make the case. This is quarterback you. This is definitely, you can make the case.
Out there in the Northwest, there's something in the water.
Billy Joe Hobart, he started for the Saints.
And there is a lot of water coming out of those skies. Seattle known for the water, but somehow they throw the ball around magically.
Jake Browning took Washington to the playoffs.
There you go.
Patty C, last year there was a lot of high expectations for the Huskies. They got upset by Montana week 1. This was a team that many had going far last year, and the Montana Grizzlies, who are a very good FCS, to be fair.
What did Montana do last year? Out of curiosity,
they were good.
Ended up going 10-3, solid. Lost to JMU.
So you're saying JMU should have been?
I mean, they got housed by JMU 28-6 in the playoffs. So yeah, but to the Montana also beat Montana State, who played in the national championship.
Yeah. So
year.
Look, the problem was the offense. Jimmy Lake, we saw they had a bunch of players drafted, but you look, 6-point loss to Minnesota, a 21-point loss to Michigan, but we think it was a lot closer, right?
It was a lot closer than that.
A 3-point loss in Corvallis to Oregon State, a 7-point loss to UCLA, a 10-point loss to Oregon, a 5-point loss to Arizona State, a 3-point loss to Colorado, and then the worst loss of the season because it seems like everyone had quit, to Washington State. Apple Cup, they lose by 27, and Wazoo fans storm the field in Seattle and take down their goalpost.
Yikes!
That is brutal.
Western Washington not too happy about that.
Now in comes Kalen DeBoer, and Kalen DeBoer had the problem last season was they couldn't move the football. They were very vanilla on offense. Unbelievably, I've heard some people say like you knew exactly what play was coming every play, right?
Yeah,
can't do that. But Kalen DeBoer comes in where they were in the top 10 offense a season ago.
Washington is doing their part of the Pac-12 movement to
run the rock,
become the Big Ten of 30 years ago.
That's what I'm saying. So the Pac-12 is now the ACC, right?
Yeah.
The Big Ten still kind of doing a job, but Ohio State's kind of became the ACC, right? Or the old Pac-12.
I would say the Big Ten, like the Pac-12 currently is the old Big Ten.
Yeah.
They just pound, or the Big Ten West currently is the same thing, you know?
Yeah.
The ACC
is become the Pac-10 back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't play defense. They just do.
Or the Big 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just throw the ball around.
The shifting. It's easy
to see that tide.
It is easy to see that tide turn.
Washington was doing their Jim Tressel at Ohio State impression and just pounding the ball. And
it's easy to see a tide
not
turn.
very creative. That's why all their games were close. Even their wins were close.
Yeah. Yeah. So in comes Kalen DeBoer, and I can tell you this: if you didn't watch Fresno State football last year, you missed one hell of a fucking show, because that offense, with Rivers, with Cropper, with Jake Hayner, that offense was flying. And I'll be honest, DeBoer, he was good at Indiana. I think Indiana had their best team when DeBoer was there.
Yeah,
so,
that was the COVID year, right? When they were top 10 for half the year.
And then you track back DeBoer. So he's a Jeff Tedford guy. He was the OC at Fresno when they won the Mountain West in 18.
Boom.
But he is also a Chris Creighton guy, my boy at Eastern Michigan.
Yowzas.
And Patty C.
Could there be two more? I know Creighton finally picked up the throwing the ball and the diversity of the offense last year, but before that, he was pretty much a ground and pound guy. So
I think you work with what you got.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. You work with what you got.
Both schools are at DeBoer's disposal here, so I think he is capable.
Kalen DeBoer was the head coach at Sioux Falls, Patty C, for 5 years. The NAIA, right?
Nice.
He went 67-3, and his first year he had 2 losses. So he went on a run his final 4 years of 56-1 in his final 4 years.
That's getting it done.
Whew, relax. This team, what is Washington the team that no one's seeing coming?
They may be. I mean, because the defense is still talented and it was good last year, and the offense was absolute trash last year. But
top 25 defense a year ago, number 1 passing defense in the nation,
in the whole country.
Let's get to it. I'm very excited to talk. See, this is one that I feel like, originally I'm like, okay, this will be an easy one because let's ride the under. They underachieved. There's no players on the offensive side of the ball. Watch out, man. We just need to watch out for this Husky team.
Fresno was the number 26 scoring offense, the number 14 overall offense last year. So
and I believe a top 10 passing offense, right? Number 9 passing offense in the nation.
Yeah, you're right. Number 9.
So
quarterback U is back.
Buckle up,
in
folks.
Seattle.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I think I think it's a great hire. Whether he fixes it this year, who knows? But either or, I think it's a very good hire.
Yeah.
By the Washington Huskies. So let's get into it. New offense coordinators Ryan Grubb. Great name.
Great name.
Great name. He inherits a mess on the offensive side of the ball. 107th in scoring offense, 125th in rush offense, 73rd in pass offense, charting at 114 in total offense. Well, Michael Penix comes in. That's a guy who's got a shit ton of starts.
Yeah, and
he's had success with DeBoer. He knows his offense. Interesting get in the portal. Their running backs, Cameron Davis and Richard Newton, are back. They're still projected as the top 2 starters, but they brought in a lot of transfers that we're going to get to in a second. Patty C, they started 3 freshman wideouts last year in Jalen McMillian, Ja'Lynn Polk, and Rome Odunze. They're back. Sophomore season.
All 3 are back.
Yeah.
Very nice. Good production out of them too. What, like about 40 catches each for at least.
Well, considering how young they are and the creativity that DeBoer can create, I think.
Yeah.
Breaking in a new tight end, I'm seeing that being Devin Culp, and this is another thing. It depends on the publications you look at. It depends. 4 or 5 starters back on the O line when you consider offensive linemen that have actually started multiple games before.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's a lot of starts.
I think that's a pretty damn good situation to walk into.
The publications, some will tell you they only have 2 starters back.
Yeah,
but in terms of the dudes that have starts on their resume,
yes,
at least how many would you?
4 of the 5.
4 out of the 5 have
projected starting 5. Yeah,
had starts last year.
Yes,
that's a lot of starting talent coming back.
Now on the defensive side of the ball, co-defensive coordinator is William Ingle. How do I pronounce it?
I think. Yeah, I would. Inge.
And Chuck Morale. Any relation to Earl?
Maybe.
Could be. Last year, this defense was really good. 36 scoring defense in the nation, 108th against the run, 1st against the pass, charting at 23 in the nation.
Well, I'm curious what they had done at Fresno last year, because to his credit, he got 2 coordinators or 3 coordinators really to come over with him from Fresno. So DeBoer must be a leader of men. They were the number 20th defense in the country. Wait, let me see it.
Scoring defense or
scoring defense, number 31st overall defense.
Still, that's good.
Pretty good.
Yeah. They got 2 of 4 back on the D line. They got only 1 linebacker back, so only 3 on the front 7 there. That's concerning. But linebacker Cam Bright leads that unit. He gets 2 of 4 in the secondary, and if you watch the NFL draft, both their corners got drafted, I feel like, decently early. So they're breaking in 2 new corners, but they have senior safety Alex Cook back. Both safeties are back. Kicker is back as well, but breaking in a new punter. How do you see? Why do I feel like we just did our Pac-12 preview, and I was convinced that I just don't know when it comes to Washington. When I look at that roster, I see a roster that I think is going to be pretty good. I think it's probably going to be a lot better than what we think, like what the average person thinks when they see 4 wins.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all kind of went to sleep on Washington after last year, and then anytime you're bringing up an F or a group of 5 coach, you're not sure if they have the it factor. I mean, I think DeBoer has shown he has the it factor, where some of the other coaches from the group of 5, they've just won, but you don't see it necessarily. Oh, that offense is definitely going to work, and work at the Power 5 level. I think we can say with confidence DeBoer has that, but I don't know that he was on the national radar last year at Fresno. So I think a lot of people are asleep, but he's taken over a very talented program.
Yeah.
And they could bump right back up into the national spotlight.
Yeah. Especially like when you consider these conferences, like, okay, we kind of know what's going to happen in the Big Ten and the SEC, we think. But as far as the Pac-12, ACC and Big 12, it's wide open. And so the Pac-12, if you're a Washington fan, it would not shock me one bit if this team won the Pac-12, because we think Utah's the one. Vegas is saying USC and Utah are the top 2.
Yeah.
Oregon is going to be in that mix because they're always, in that mix. I think this conference is must-watch TV because every week we have no idea.
Yeah, this may be one of the biggest
every
sleepers.
Team in the conference has a shot, if you're not, with the exception of probably Arizona and Colorado.
Yeah.
Right. I think every other team, and this one,
UCLA, yes. USC, yes. Utah, yes. Cal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they're in all the games. They never just get their ass whooped by 40.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
That's
like
true. Oregon State, Oregon certainly.
I think Washington State with
Washington
Cam
State,
Ward
maybe.
coming in, is going to be a little bit dangerous.
Arizona State.
Arizona State's still Arizona State.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
I feel like if you're not Arizona,
most of the conference could win it,
or at least get there.
Yeah.
And then if that happens,
you have a shot. You're right. Two draft picks, two defensive backs drafted in the top 39 picks.
That's what I'm saying, dude. This team's better than what we think. I think.
Yeah.
Folks, we're gonna talk transfer portal. We're gonna talk recruiting rankings. We're gonna talk schedule and expectations. Well, if you're watching on YouTube, you'll see right now the number that I think Las Vegas expects. And subscribe on YouTube, youtube.com/The College Experience. Remember to subscribe to the College Football Experience on all platforms, though, where you listen to podcasts. Also, the College Basketball Experience. Washington, what's up? You've been this was a few years ago. You know, I feel like 7-8 years ago, Washington was making the tournament all the time. They've hit some struggles. I know Hopkins is on the hot seat. But subscribe to the College Basketball Experience because we talk college hoops year round over there.
Boom.
Excited to see what they can do this year. But first, I got to get us paid. I want to tell you that the College Football Experience, Washington Huskies 2022 season preview episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is presented by WynnBET. Bet $100 at WynnBET and get a $100 free bet. Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBET. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET to claim your free bet today. We're also brought to you by Odds Trader. Odds Trader is a place to compare odds from all the major sports books. You can also compare the different sign-up codes and promo codes from sportsbook to sportsbook to assure that you get the best deal. The app also provides player stats, key game stats, injury reports, projected game day weather for bettors who make the most informed bets possible. It also has a bet tracker so bettors can keep records of all your games and betting activity. So go to oddstrader.com/Blue Wire. Odds Trader, the #1 site for all your game day bets. We're also brought to you by Run Your Pool. Run Your Pool is the home of competition, bringing sports fans and their social circles together to compete, connect, and make every game matter more. Run Your Pool offers every game you can think of under the sun. Pick'em, Survivor, fantasy pools. It's all there. And get this, we've teamed up with Run Your Pool to run our own NFL Survivor. Yes, SGP and NFL Survivor contest. Hop in now to reserve your spot. Free to enter. $500 cash to the winner plus a $250 gift card to the SGPN merch store. Sign up today over at play.runyourpool.com/SGPN. That's play.runyourpool.com/SGPN. We're also brought to you by Sleeper. Sleeper's the fastest growing fantasy platform today with millions of players. You probably already have a fantasy league on there. I know I do. They just passed 4 million users. All right. And they got this brand new over under game that's just fire. All right. First, in any sport, you choose 2 or more players you like and you pick the over or under on their stat projection. And if you pick correctly, you can win anywhere from 2 times to 20 times the amount of money you put in. And with the NFL season right around the corner, Sleeper is the first sports contest game built into the fantasy experience. So right now on your mobile phone, join our listener group on sleeper.com/SGP. That's sleeper.com/SGP, and they'll automatically match your first deposit up to $100. That's sleeper.com/SGP. All right, we're back talking Husky football, the transfer portal. Patty C, very curious your thoughts here. They landed starting quarterback Michael Penix, absolutely huge get, probably the best Washington quarterback in like the past 7-8 years.
But who they didn't get is
that's true. Jake Haener had originally said he was going to Washington. And then when Fresno announced Tedford was going to
take over at Fresno,
yes, because Tedford originally
recruited Haener.
Yes, and he was there. His first, Tedford was just there 3 years or 2. Yeah,
DeBoer took over for 2 years.
Yeah,
obviously did great.
Yeah,
under
DeBoer. Yeah,
Haener did,
but Tedford brought him home, kept him home, and so they still get Penix though. And
Penix is a nice consolation prize, and you're right, he did do well under DeBoer in Indiana.
Yeah, they brought in a slew of running backs. So I alluded to the 2 running backs from last year that will be in the mix there with Richard Newton and Cameron Davis. This backfield is deep now though, because they added in Wayne Taulapapa.
Yep.
From UVA.
I've seen this guy a lot, watched a lot of UVA football. He's good. I mean, he's not NFL's, carry the ball every down kind of back, but he's effective.
Yeah, they got running back Aaron Dumas from the New Mexico Lobos. He started there, and they also got Will Nixon from Nebraska. So just rolling up, they're a deep backfield. Wide receiver wise, they brought in Lanyata Alexander from Arizona State. They also brought in punter Kevin Ryan from the Bengals of Idaho State. Idaho State was 1-10 in the FCS. This guy knows how to punt. Cornerback Jordan Perryman comes in from UC Davis. That might be a sneaky good get. UC Davis, Dan Hawkins. They beat Tulsa last year in Tulsa.
What position did they
Corner.
get? Corner.
Yeah.
Okay.
They also got linebacker Christopher Mull from UAB. UAB had a top 15 defense a season ago, and Mull was one of their best defensive players. So that is a very good get there. What they lost though, got to key. The portal gives, the portal takes. All right. They lost offensive lineman Will Pliska to the portal. Running back Caleb Berry, portal. This one hurts here. Jacoby Covington to USC. Ouch. What the hell's going on? You're going to transfer in conference.
Disloyal.
Safety Makai Pay, portal. Cornerback Kason Kitchen, portal. They also lost linebacker Jackson Sermon to Cal. Now, I can give a little bit because his dad's the defensive coordinator at Cal.
I think you got to give a lot there.
Yeah. So linebacker Ben Hines, portal. Linebacker Will Latu, portal. Wide receiver Terrell Bynum, USC. Ouch. Linebacker Anthony Ward, portal. Defensive lineman, this one's brutal too. Sam Tayami to Oregon. And this guy's going to start. He's a beast. That's a big loss. They also lost.
That's the biggest slap in the face.
Yeah.
I mean, Oregon and Wazoo are clearly their two biggest rivals, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Tight end Mark Redmond went to San Diego State with the Aztecs at the snapper. Wide receiver Sawyer Rakanali went to the Montana Grizzlies. Linebacker Cooper McDonald went to the Aztecs of San Diego State. Patty C. They also lost wide receiver Camden Verstraat to the portal. Defensive end Latu to UCLA. Linebacker MJ Tafisi to Utah State.
They do Pacific Islanders about the best in the country.
Tight end Carson Smith, portal, and then kicker Tim Horn to Rice. Did they win or lose the portal? They got Penix, so I want to say they slightly won it, but man, they lost some key defensive players. They're going to start at Oregon, at Utah State,
USC.
Yeah, USC.
Yeah, I would say.
I still think they won it though. Getting those running backs.
Yeah, getting Penix. I mean, the
Penix
offense is where they needed the help. I feel like they have talent to spare on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, when you just have a factory line of Pacific Islanders coming in and just creating amazing pass rush year after year, that helps. And then you get, I mean, there's some speed in the Seattle area too, because they've always produced a bunch of good D-backs too.
Yeah, that DBU.
Yeah.
They need to hit me up for the recruiting trail. Just spend 6 months in Hawaii every year.
Oh yeah, that'd be nice.
It's like, let's take this guy, this guy, this guy. Talk to me about recruiting.
Let's take a look. See here. Scroll on down. Okay. Nationally, usually pretty good. Last 5 cycles, 16, 16, 18, 26, and then boom. Obviously, the transition year really hurt. 59. So a terrible year recruiting. Within the conference, that's good for 3, 2, 2, 4, and then 11. So obviously, went from near the top of the conference recruiting all the way down to the bottom. But and then their 4-year composite has ranged in the 17 to 20 nationally level. So they are a talented team.
Yeah, I think they're a very talented team, more than their record. All right, well, look, we're going to talk the schedule, but first I want to tell you that we're brought to you by Trade Coffee. Trade Coffee connects customers to the freshest and best tasting coffee they've ever made at home by partnering with the country's best craft roasters. This is expert tasted coffee too. Trade's got a coffee team that actually taste tests thousands of coffee. They keep 450 different kinds of coffee live, ready to ship out to you every single day. There's no one perfect coffee, but there is a perfect coffee for you. And they have a human powered algorithm. Let that do it for you, because it's going to recommend you and find you the right coffee. Right now, Trade is offering new subscribers a total of $30 off your first order plus free shipping when you go to drinktrade.com/SGP. People, that's more than 40 cups of coffee for free. Get started today by taking their quiz at drinktrade.com/SGP. We're also brought to you by Dave. Dave's a great guy. If this is the Dave you're talking to, the other Dave might be weird. You don't want your kids around him, but this Dave, he's fantastic. Dave is the banking app that can help you get up to $500 instantly with extra cash. I mean, that's more money to fill your tank, Patty C, your fish tank. That's more money to buy a wedding gift. All right. That's more money to catch up on bills. All right. It doesn't matter. We've all been in a jam where you needed some cash.
Need a guy like Dave.
That's what I'm saying. Look, download the Dave app from the App Store right now. And here's what's great too: you get no interest, no credit check needed. That's DAVE. Sign up for an extra cash account and get up to $500 instantly. For terms and conditions, go to dave.com/legal. Instant transfer fees do apply. Banking provided by Evolve, member of the FDIC. All right, we are back talking Husky football. Patty, see the win total is sitting there at 7.5. What on first thought, did you think that's high for a team that won 4 games last year?
I mean, if it wasn't Washington and they hadn't been a playoff team relatively recently, I would think that's high, of course. But I think Washington, when I think Washington, 7.5 wins seems very doable. Especially when you consider what DeBoer did. Should we go over what Fresno did last year at all to get a?
Sure, go for it. Go for it.
I mean, their losses are kind of inexplicable to an extent, or at least one of them is. There are other losses at Oregon and against.
Oh, and they had Oregon. They outgained Oregon that game, and Kayvon Thibodeau had a huge strip sack touchdown that had Oregon pull away. Fresno almost beat Oregon.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. The other loss was against Boise, understandable, but then the third loss of the season was at Hawaii. So,
and that was a crazy game because I went to sleep. That was before Hawaii checked out, though.
Okay, yeah, they were 6 and 7.
They quit on that coach. They quit on that coach because they're like something got crazy. But I bet that game. I actually was on the wrong side of that because I think 21-7 and I called it a night. It was already like
Fresno was leading.
Yeah, they lost 24-21
or 27-24.
There you go. It was 24-10, I think.
Yeah,
and they
Hawaii went on a late run.
And I'm thinking like, how the hell did that happen? It gets wacky over there on the island. Ask Alabama the last time they went to the island. They took an L. All right,
but 10 wins other than that, and most of them pretty impressive. A couple close games, but a lot of blowouts too.
Yeah.
I think they got a good guy coming in here.
I think so too. So the juice though is minus 130 on the over, plus 110 on the under. Vegas basically saying they think they're going to go 8-4.
Yowzers.
Bit surprised there?
A little bit. That is a big jump.
Well, let's get into it because week 1, Pac-12 after dark. Can't wait to watch this game now. I wish they would have spread these games out better. They just give Sunday and Monday to. It just doesn't make any sense. They only do one game on Sunday, one game on Monday. They should be sprinkling the Sundays
all
and
throughout
Mondays.
the day.
Yeah.
I like your idea. Give some of the teams that don't get the regular shine.
Even
highlight.
FCS too. Like, come on, you got over 260 college football teams.
Yeah.
Why is all of them going on Saturday?
Extra
they need
weekend.
to get organized.
Yeah.
Kent State does have an offense, Patty C, that might be able to give the Huskies some problems. But you know what? I got Washington winning this one.
Are we going to see a shootout here?
You could. You very well
but
could.
I feel like Washington's defensive talent will put that golden flash offense in check a little bit. 1-0.
1-0. Then the Portland State Vikings, little border battle, Patty C.
Nice.
I got Washington.
Who went out?
And then they're home to the Spartans of Michigan State. If you listen to our Michigan State preview,
you took Washington.
Yes. Michigan State. I feel like they don't win when they come to the Pac-12, and the island. Didn't they lose to Hawaii last time they went there too?
Curious. I do want to see what the all-time record against Washington is for Michigan State. We'll get there in a little bit, but.
Well, I can tell you this. I'm trying to find the results right now quickly. Away at Utah. No, this is Michigan. I need Michigan State.
Michigan State is 2-1 Washington's 2-1 all time against Michigan State. So not a really big sample size, but they are 1-0 in Washington. So Michigan State has yet to win.
I thought
Seattle.
Michigan State had a bad record at Pac-12 schools. I feel like I have that somewhere.
I'll be able to pull that up.
Yeah.
In a sec.
But regardless, I think that's one of the harder. I know last year they sucked, but I traditionally think that stadium's hard to go into and win.
The 12th man.
I think it's a sneakier stadium than most realize.
What is the name of that stadium? I should know this. It's
Sailgating. Will there be some sailgating?
Husky Stadium.
Yeah.
Easy enough. There definitely will be some sailgating. Michigan State, a big name coming to town, a big environment for them to play in. Could they get to 3-0?
I have them going 3-0.
All right, 3-0 it is. I'm gonna have them 2-1 just because, but I'm not sure of that at all. I am not sure about that. You're wrong though.
Yeah.
If Winsipedia is correct, oh, never mind. This is
I'm
just
talking about on the road though.
against the Pac-12.
when they're home in Lansing, I think they take care of business.
It doesn't. I don't think they have that stat here.
I want to say I saw a stat at some point. I'd have to pull it up, but
where they just don't win out west.
Yeah, I think. Well, I think actually a lot of the programs have problems going west. But
yeah.
Anyway, I got them 3-0. You got them 2-1. Stanford Cardinal come to town. Stanford gives Washington fits. I feel like
they do.
I feel like this is a tougher game than part of me just says, oh, that's a win. I don't think I should think like that though, because I do think that is a trickier game. I think when Peterson was there, Stanford gave them a hard time.
Looking at it now, going back to let's say 2013. Well, I mean they going back even further than that. You go back to 2008. Washington's only won 4 times in what, like 15 years there?
Yeah.
So or 14 years.
I'm taking Washington, but I am treading very lightly.
Yeah, I would say they have a loss by now, so I'll say 3-1.
I got 4-0. Then they head Friday night. I think we're going to be at this game at the Rose Bowl against UCLA. This is the first loss, I think, but it makes it to me very pivotal game here. Actually, I'm going to make this our sling game of the season. Most important game, sling game of the season here at UCLA. Sling, it's college football season, which means you need the unbeatable coverage of Sling TV starting at $35 a month. Sling has all the big games on the biggest channels like ESPN, ESPN2, ESPN3, SEC Network, ACC Network, Fox, and the Big Ten Network, all for the best price. You can stream it on any device, record up to 50 hours with included DVR space. You could pause or change your service at any time. Check out sling.com for special offers. Sling, the live TV you love for a price you'll love. Try us today. Patty C, here's my, I think they'll be favored potentially in all 4 games, but maybe not the Michigan State game. My point is here is if they're able to get a win here, watch out, because Arizona State, we don't know what they're going to be like this year. They lost a ton of players. So I do think that game, it's tough. It's at the desert. After this is a back-to-back away at UCLA, at Arizona State, but that might be more winnable than most years considering what Arizona State lost. So if they were able to get this win against UCLA, which I'm taking UCLA.
That is a tough 2-game stretch.
Yeah, I'm taking UCLA. But I'm saying is if they knock off the Bruins, you could see a path where they could really start off great.
That could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-0 going into Cal.
Yeah, I know Cal's gave them fits lately too, but I got them losing to UCLA. But I'm just saying that I think that's the biggest game of the schedule because I think that could really vault them into a great position, give them a lot of momentum. Getting Michigan State at home is huge. Of course, yeah.
And then you're right. If they can get past, so I'm going to give them another loss in that 2-game stretch at UCLA. And I got them losing to UCLA. I got them beating Arizona State. We both have them beating Arizona, presumably in Seattle. So that you got them 6-1 through the first half of the season. I got them at 5-2.
I got them losing at Cal though in Berkeley. Drop your acid. All right. Where's my sound drop?
Hippie Olympics. Doesn't matter who wins because they're all losers.
Just smash mouth football at its finest. What's the recent history in this series? Pretty even. Yeah. Washington had gotten the better of them for a while, but Cal's closed the gap. So at Cal, I'll go with you on that. I'll say a 3rd loss there.
So for me, it's 2. They get a bye week and they're home to Oregon State. This is if I had to do a second game that was very important, it would be this one right here. Oh man.
Tough game.
I'm going to take Oregon State.
Friday night in Washington, in Seattle.
I'm really high on Oregon State this year, but I think both these teams, this is a game.
Give me the Huskies, baby.
So that would put them at, you have them at what? I got them at, we have the same record now, 3 losses, right?
Yeah.
Then they're at Oregon, Autzen Stadium.
So 6-3 going into Autzen. That's an L, I would think. Not definitely. 2 new coaches.
Yeah. I lean just cause it's Autzen. I'll go Oregon.
And Oregon was well ahead of them over the past couple of years. I think you got to go with that. Defense with Lanning, offense with DeBoer should be fun, but we'll say Oregon.
Then they host my Colorado Buffaloes. I think they'll take care of business. I got them at 7 wins.
Here you go. Here's the make or break game.
You haven't beaten Colorado?
I do.
Then they head to Martin Stadium, the Apple Cup. This game's fucking great.
It is great.
I'm on Wazoo.
After Wazoo just destroyed them, what was the score last year?
I like the Cameron Ward get
40-13. But this is a new day
in that desert. It's gonna be cold, snowing, around Thanksgiving.
I feel like I should go with Washington State here, but
it's a 50-50 game, bro.
It is, but I'm still punching the over with this team. I think I've been a little harsh on them in terms of these 50-50 games. So I'm going to give them the edge in this particular 50-50 game, even though if I was betting on it, I would take Wazoo.
I'm going to say this. We just did the Virginia one, right, Patty C?
Yeah.
This is similar. It's similar because UCLA lost a ton, right? That stadium never gets packed for UCLA fans.
On a Friday night.
Right? If you're telling me, with the exception to the Oregon game, which Oregon has a brand new coach, a brand new offense, a brand new defense.
Yeah. That door is open.
I mean, I think when I look at this, for sure, I would say they're dogs at UCLA and at Oregon. But they're not going to be that Arizona big State. Of dogs.
Yeah. Yeah. No, they
don't play USC. You got to like that. They don't get Utah. You got to like that. This schedule's nice.
Let me ask you something that should concern any Washington fan here. Michael Penix's total numbers of games played in his 4 years playing college football, 3, 6, 6, and 5. Now, granted, one of those years was COVID, so he basically played a full season there.
But how many starts is that together?
That is 15. 20 starts.
Well, I'm going to make the case that he might be the most experienced quarterback in the Pac-12.
Well, I'm not worried about his experience or his level of play. I'm worried about him staying healthy.
I get your point, but I'm saying this: look around. Caleb Williams is a freshman.
Yeah.
You know who Dorian Thompson-Robinson's the most experienced, probably.
Yeah.
But Cam Rising was a freshman last year.
It's true.
Right. Jaden DeLora was a freshman last year. Bo Nix is a sophomore last year. Right.
So you would 100%.
I'm saying like the more you think about that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Cal has Jack Plummer, who's a senior, but I'm saying as far as starts wise,
yeah,
he's going to be in the top half.
Steady, experienced hand at the helm.
Yeah. So
if he could stay healthy, I do think this will be a surprisingly good year for this. 8-4. I'm
7-5.
I'm hitting the over. But
7-5. Great hire though.
Great hire. I think Pac-12 title in play here.
I mean, look, it's like UVA when we did the Virginia preview. I don't know. Like you could talk me into. I don't think it would be that far fetched if you said, Colby, this team's going to go 10-2.
Washington.
And I'd go. I could see that.
Yeah,
I could see that. And that is a Pac-12 championship game right there. Boom.
I mean, like you just said, they'll probably be favored in 8 of their games.
I think 9. I actually think they'll be favored against Arizona State because of the transfers that left. I think they're going to be a dog probably to UCLA, probably to Oregon. Maybe if Cal's winning there, you could say that.
What about Michigan State?
That's another one too, because I feel like. But I mean, I think they're going to beat Michigan State.
I'm starting to come around with you on that one.
All right, folks. Well, subscribe to the College Football Experience. He's on the over. I'm on the under. We've been doing this for years. We're baked out all 131 college football teams, and we're here all season. Every game we cover, we handicap every single college football and college basketball game. Subscribe to the College Basketball Experience too, and subscribe to the Sports Gambling Podcast. And first off, if you're on YouTube, hop over to YouTube right now. As I'm saying this, go to youtube.com/the College Experience. Subscribe over there. But yeah, Sports Gambling Podcast going through all 32 NFL teams. If you're a Seahawks fan, you got to check that out. If you're soccer's big up there. Check out the MLS Gambling Podcast.
Seattle
and also
Sounders.
Also check out the Soccer Gambling Podcast because the World Cup coming this fall. So, or this winter, whatever you want to call that. Check that out. And Discord channel, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. That's one of my if you're just a sports fan like us, it's just great to get in there and talk sports. Obviously, if you're betting on stuff, it's even better. Or you'll get some nuggets in there that you'll probably get that will make you bet. But in general, it's just a fun place to hang. Check that out.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think that we should start a bring back the Supersonics movement.
Yes, definitely. Sonics should. I'm still upset by that. Subscribe to the NBA Gambling Podcast. Terrell Furman. Maybe he'll help
Get the Sonics back.
Look, I'm wearing a Washington hat. Washington, we love you. We feel you. On the other Washington, on the other side of the country, losing a great program. Yeah. You guys lost the Sonics. It hurts, right?
Yeah.
But you come back, you fight the good fight.
The Sonics used to have a college environment. We're the college experience. We like college football and college basketball better than pro sports.
What was their stadium again?
Key Arena.
The Key Arena was lit.
Yeah.
It was lit.
Dude, that was a great the first one. Like I'm talking they moved to another arena. I feel like I don't know. Early on, maybe they just painted the court. I don't remember. Either way,
they got good fans up there.
And they had Sean Kemp and Gary Payton in the early days. That place was very energetic. All right, folks, subscribe, check us out, give us a follow on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. I'm on Twitter at DColbyD. Patty C's on Twitter at PattyC831. Please, if you can, go to iTunes and give us a 5-star review. It takes a minute out of your day, and it really helps us do this. All right, folks, this is the college football experience, Washington Husky style. You better start thinking about yours, and we out of here.